Imagine this. You are holding a key, sleek, invisible, humming with energy. A key so potent it can unlock reality itself, yet almost no one dares to use it. Why? Because it doesn't look like power. It doesn't roar like thunder or blaze like fire. It's silent, immediate, almost too simple. And that simplicity makes it dangerous, because the human mind worships complexity. What if I told you there exists a quantum shortcut, a way of collapsing possibility into experience instantly, without rituals, without waiting, without the grinding weight of endless effort? It is not hidden in some laboratory, nor buried in some temple vault. It is here, now, waiting in the quiet spaces of your awareness. Throughout history, mystics, sages, and even physicists have whispered around its edges. Some called it the word, others, the still point. In more modern times, fragments of it appear in discussions of quantum mechanics, the observer effect, and the strange intelligence of consciousness itself. Yet, despite its presence, it is almost never used, not because it fails, but because it feels too close, too intimate, to be taken seriously. This video will take you into that mystery. Together we'll peel back the layers of forgotten wisdom and rediscover what ancient civilizations hinted at and what modern science accidentally confirmed. You'll see why this secret, this quantum shortcut, has been overlooked, dismissed, or even feared. And most importantly, you'll learn how to touch it, how to wield it, and how to feel its power shaping your reality in an instant. But a warning: once seen, it cannot be unseen. Once felt, you cannot return to the illusion of things taking time. You will recognize that reality responds, not tomorrow, not later, but now. So, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we are going to uncover the one principle that has been hidden in plain sight, the shortcut that works instantly, though almost nobody uses it. If you trace the footprints of human wisdom back through the corridors of time, you will find one theme repeating itself, like a whisper carried across civilizations. Reality is not as solid as it seems. The Vedic sages of India called the world Maya, a grand illusion woven from consciousness itself. In the Hermetic texts of Egypt, reality was described as mental, a projection of thought, sculpted by vibration and frequency. The Gnostics, persecuted for their teachings, spoke of the spark of divine awareness hidden in each person, capable of reshaping the very fabric of existence. And in China, the Taoists taught that alignment with the Tao, the subtle flow beneath all things, allowed one to move effortlessly, bending circumstance as easily as water bends around stone. What do all these traditions share? They hint at a secret, that the external world is not external at all. It is responsive, participatory, and pliable to consciousness. Now, fast forward to the 20th century, where physicists stumbled into the same mystery with a different language. The double-slit experiment revealed that particles, tiny units of matter, behaved differently depending on whether they were observed. Light itself shifted from wave to particle, as if awaiting a decision. The observer effect wasn't just a technical anomaly, it was a rupture in the materialist worldview. It suggested that consciousness was not a bystander, but a co-creator in the unfolding of reality. And yet, here's the paradox. While mystics embraced this truth, modern science largely recoiled. It was easier to bury it under equations and technical jargon than to admit what it implied: that you hold more influence over reality than you've been led to believe. The ancients had no microscopes, no quantum labs, yet they knew. They encoded this secret into symbols, stories, and riddles, ensuring that only those with eyes to see would uncover it. The word in the Gospel of John, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God," is not simply a poetic line. It is a reference to the creative vibration of consciousness. The Emerald Tablet of Hermes, with its axiom, "As above, so below, as within, so without," was not a metaphor. It was instruction. Why then has this wisdom remained hidden, dismissed, or forgotten? Perhaps because a society built on control cannot thrive if individuals awaken to their own creative sovereignty. If people truly understood how immediate their influence on reality is, the machinery of fear, scarcity, and dependency would collapse overnight. This is the stage on which we stand. Ancient voices pointing one way, modern experiments pointing the same, and yet humanity wandering in circles, waiting for permission to use what has always been available. And so, in this video, we turn the key. We enter the territory where ancient mysticism and quantum science meet, and we rediscover the shortcut most ignore, not because it doesn't work, but because it works too well. Let us begin with a simple question. What creates reality? Most people would point to action, work, effort, struggle. But beneath all action lies something more immediate: attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, form begins to crystallize. The quantum shortcut is nothing more and nothing less than the radical recognition that attention itself is the architect of reality. Not tomorrow, not later, instantly. Think of it like this. Imagine reality as a vast ocean of probability. Every possible version of your life exists there, like countless waves waiting to rise. The moment you observe, the moment you decide, you collapse one wave into form. That is creation. And it doesn't take years, rituals, or endless striving. It happens now, in every moment, with every thought you allow to become real in your awareness. This is why the mystics warned, "Be mindful of your thoughts, for they become your world." It was never metaphor, it was instruction. But here's where the paradox lies. Because this power is instant, it becomes invisible. You don't notice the ocean responding because you are swimming in it constantly. The shortcut is always running, like the background code of a simulation. And so, you assume reality is solid, when in truth it is liquid, responding to the slightest touch of consciousness. Imagine a painter who dips a brush into paint, but instead of waiting for the canvas to dry, sees it shift in real time as they imagine. That is what you are doing every moment, but unconsciously. The shortcut works, but it works on what you believe. If you believe life is hard, attention collapses waves that confirm it. If you believe opportunities flow, the waves of probability reorganize to deliver them. This is the quiet revolution hidden in plain sight. Reality bends not to effort, but to attention infused with belief. The ancient texts encoded this in parables because language was too fragile to hold the truth. Jesus did not say, "Strive, and it shall be given." He said, "Ask, and it is given." The Vedas speak of sankalpa, the resolve of the mind that instantly imprints on the fabric of reality. Hermetic teachings describe it as the law of mentalism. The all is mind. Yet even knowing this, most people fail to use it. Why? Because the mind is addicted to time. We are trained to believe that results take effort, that manifestation is a process. The shortcut offends that belief. It suggests that the moment you shift your inner state, reality outside begins rearranging. And because the change is often subtle at first, a phone call, a chance encounter, a sudden insight, people dismiss it as coincidence. But there are no coincidences. There are only collapsed probabilities. Think of the double-slit experiment again. A particle does not wait hours or days to decide whether it will be a wave or a point. It responds instantly to observation. The universe doesn't procrastinate. Only the human mind does. And so, the first key to using the shortcut is awareness. Awareness that every thought is a brushstroke, every focus a command. Awareness that by clinging to worry, you summon realities that justify it. And by surrendering to trust, you open probabilities where life flows. The shortcut is not something you learn, it is something you remember. And once remembered, it is impossible to unsee. Here's the paradox at the heart of the quantum shortcut. It is both the easiest thing in the world and the hardest. Easy because it requires no tools, no rituals, no waiting. Hard because it demands absolute trust in something the rational mind cannot measure. Most people never use it consciously because they confuse effort with power. They believe they must push reality into place, wrestle it into form, as though life were an enemy to be conquered. But the shortcut reveals the opposite. Reality is a mirror. It doesn't resist, it reflects. Stand before a mirror and smile. The reflection smiles instantly, not in an hour, not after effort, but now. If you frown, the reflection frowns without hesitation. Reality works the same way. What you project inwardly, it reflects outwardly. The delay, the struggle, exists only in the belief that reality is fixed, that the mirror is slow. And here lies the greatest misconception. That manifestation is about getting something in the future. The truth is that the shortcut works only in the now. You don't manifest by begging reality to change. You manifest by embodying the version of yourself that already exists in this instant. The shortcut is not about reaching, it's about remembering. The ancient mystics understood this. The Taoists spoke of Wu Wei, effortless action, not as passivity, but as alignment with the present flow. The Upanishads whispered, "You are that," already whole, already complete. And modern quantum physics, in its reluctant poetry, confirms that every possible outcome already exists in the quantum field, waiting for your observation to select it. But here's where most seekers stumble. They confuse knowing with believing. You may know that consciousness creates reality, but do you believe it enough to trust the shortcut without grasping for control? Do you dare to act as if the reality you desire is already here? This is why the shortcut is rarely used. It strips away excuses. If reality is a mirror, then every limitation, every "I can't," is not the world holding you back. It's you. The responsibility is total, and most people are not ready to face that kind of power. It's easier to say, "It takes time. I must wait. I must struggle." That way, the weight of creation feels less terrifying. Another paradox. The shortcut works instantly, but you may not always see it instantly. Why? Because your reality is not only built from your current focus, but from accumulated patterns of past attention. If you've been staring into the mirror of limitation for years, the reflection carries momentum. The moment you shift, the process begins immediately. But the outer layers may take time to rearrange. It's like turning a great ship. The wheel moves instantly, but the bulk follows with a delay. And yet, the delay is only in appearance. On the quantum level, the choice has already been made. The wave has already collapsed. The universe is already rearranging itself to reflect your shift. To doubt this is to reopen the wave of possibility and scatter your focus. To trust it is to let the reflection stabilize into form. This is why mystics often spoke in riddles and paradoxes. They knew the mind cannot fully grasp something that operates beyond time. "The kingdom of heaven is within you," said Christ, "not in the future, not in the distance, but here, now. As you think, so shall you become," said the sages. Not tomorrow, not with effort, but instantly, at the moment of thought. So here we stand. The shortcut is simple. Direct your attention. Believe what you embody. Release the grasping for later and anchor in now. The rest is reflection. And yet, the simplicity is what makes it invisible. It is so close, so immediate, that people overlook it, just as a fish cannot see the water it swims in. Revealing the shortcut is only half the journey. The real transformation begins when you use it. Remember, this is not a theory. It is a living force, and the only barrier between you and its power is forgetfulness. So, how do you apply it? How do you wield a tool that works instantly? The answer may surprise you, not by doing more, but by doing less. 1. The instant shift ritual. Begin with awareness. Pause for a moment and notice the state of your inner dialogue. Ask yourself, what am I broadcasting right now? Anxiety? Trust? Gratitude? The universe mirrors whatever signal you send. The practice is this: shift before the mirror shifts. Instead of waiting for external proof, step into the state you desire now. If you want peace, breathe as if you already have it. If you want abundance, feel the fullness of life already flowing through you. If you want clarity, imagine the fog has already lifted. Do this, and watch as small synchronicities begin to appear. A message, an opportunity, a sudden release of tension. These are not coincidences, they are reflections. 2. The observer's choice. Each day, consciously play with the observer effect. Choose one situation, perhaps a conversation, a work challenge, or even a walk outside, and experiment with holding a different internal stance. Expect beauty, expect harmony, expect flow. Notice how the world bends itself, subtly at first, to your expectation. This exercise is not about control, but about recognition. You are training your awareness to see how instantly reality responds. The more you notice it, the more the illusion of delay dissolves. 3. The language of now. The shortcut fails when you place your desire in the future. I will have. I hope to. One day. These keep the mirror reflecting distance. Instead, speak in the language of now. Replace I want with I am. Replace I will with it is. Ancient mystics understood this. In the Hebrew tradition, the name of God, I am, was the ultimate creative formula. To declare I am is to stamp your reality in the present moment. Use this consciously. Instead of I will be confident, whisper, I am confidence itself. Notice how your body shifts instantly, how the mirror begins to obey. 4. Guarding the gate of attention. The shortcut is precise, but it is also neutral. It doesn't judge, it reflects, which means your attention is sacred. What you dwell on, you invite. So practice guarding the gate of your mind. Refuse to feed on fear, gossip, or limitation. Instead, return again and again to the state you choose. The Buddhists call this right mindfulness. The Hermetics call it the mastery of vibration. In modern terms, it is simply focus. But don't underestimate its power. Every moment you shift your focus, you shift the field. Overcoming pitfalls. At first, your old patterns may resist. Doubt will whisper, this can't be so simple. Or impatience will say, why hasn't it worked yet? This is where trust becomes the practice. Remember, the ship is already turning. The field has already shifted. Your task is to hold the mirror steady until the reflection fully catches up. And so, the practical application of this quantum shortcut is not complicated. It is remembrance. Remembrance that reality is a mirror, that attention is the brush, and that the masterpiece is painted instantly, stroke by stroke, thought by thought. Use these practices daily, even playfully. And watch as the invisible begins to reveal itself. You have now glimpsed the shortcut, the truth that has echoed through temples, scriptures, and laboratories alike. Reality is not a wall to be climbed, nor a weight to be dragged. It is a mirror, alive and immediate, responding to the whispers of your attention. This is the secret almost no one uses, not because it is hidden, but because it is too close, too simple, too immediate. We overlook it, the way a fish overlooks water, or the way a dreamer forgets they are dreaming. And yet, the moment you remember, the spell begins to break. Every moment, you are standing at a threshold of infinite possibilities. Every thought, every belief, every focus is a hand on the wheel of creation. You are not waiting for reality to change. You are reality changing itself. The ancients knew it. The mystics embodied it. The physicists reluctantly confirmed it. And now, the question is not whether this shortcut works. The question is, will you dare to use it? Dare to test it in small ways. Dare to shift your state before the mirror shifts. Dare to embody the life you long for. Not tomorrow, not one day, but now. And watch how reality, like a loyal shadow, follows. Perhaps the greatest illusion is that time stands between you and your desires. But the shortcut shows otherwise. Creation is not later. Creation is always now. So I leave you with this. If reality is a mirror, what will you choose to reflect today? And if this truth resonates with you, if some part of you feels the stirrings of remembrance, then share this journey. Leave your reflection in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and join me in peeling back the layers of this grand illusion. Together, we are remembering what was never lost. The shortcut is here. It always has been. The only question left is, will you step through? The script is now complete, structured, cinematic, and layered with mysticism and practical wisdom.